Welcome back, I am the One-Eyed Crow, and today we're here for the Metazoo news update for February 27th through March 6, 2022. Now, I will say there has not been a ton of updates in the last week. We are coming off of Collecticon Orlando, which was a huge event on the 27th and 28th. I did talk about that a little bit in my last video, and I assume everyone's recovering from that. And the Kickstarter has just ended as well, so there's not as many updates as normal this week. But before we begin, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. It really means a lot to me to help this channel grow. So to kick us off, on the morning of March 1st, there was an announcement for the medal application form, and there's a bunch of different medals you can apply for here. The one that I really was interested in is the content creator medal, so I did apply for that. But you could also apply for the Diplomat, the Patreon caster, the fan art illustrator, tournament participation, all of the different types of medals you can apply for there if they apply to you. The form is still active if you haven't done it yet. I don't see an end date for when this will be taken down, but if you are interested in getting a medal for yourself, if you're a content creator, or if you have participated in some tournaments or whatnot, go to the Discord, the link is there, and put in your entry for that. If you are a content creator, you do need to provide proof of your content. So for me, I had to provide screenshots of my YouTube channel. March 1st also marks the 1-year anniversary of the Cryptid Nation Kickstarter. So that's a huge milestone there. We have gone through a year of Metazoo, from the Kickstarter to CN1 released, to Nightfall, to CN2, and now coming on Wilderness. So congratulations to Mike and team. That's huge to make it this far, and I think you guys are doing a great job, and can't wait to see where this goes. On March 2nd, we got to look at the Pin Club promo card packs. Those look very nice, kind of what you'd expect. Has the Pin Club logo on it, has some Wilderness trees and art on that. All in all, somewhat basic, but good to see some stuff moving forward. We will be seeing those coming out in the coming weeks. I believe we're 9 days away at the time of this recording from getting the Pin Club release, which I believe is March 15th, so keep an eye out for that. On March 3rd, we got to look at the artist sketch cards. From my understanding with these, the artists for Metazoo, they get, I think it's 10 each of these, and they can do sketch cards, sign it. The artist then chooses how to distribute these. So some might do it free, some might do paid. We're not quite sure on that. Keep an eye out, especially for your favorite artists, to see how they're going to be offering up these Wilderness sketch cards. I had also talked last week, an update from the Metazoo Hour about the comics, how they're going to be collected into a book. This was an official announcement this week on March 3rd, around 1 p.m. Mike had decided to complete the Cryptid Nation story as a book, and it will be published at the end of August or early September. So we actually have some rough dates directly from Mike on the official announcement channel there, which is awesome to see. I do like collecting the individual comics, but I'll likely get the graphic novel to read myself. Also on March 3rd, a big update day here at 8:30 p.m., it was announced that they're going to be doing tournament packs at Collecticon Dallas, which is in May. They didn't provide any previews of what that's going to look like, the packs or whatnot, or what's going to be in them, so all we really know at this time is that they're going to be doing something for tournament packs. On March 4th, around 1:20 p.m., there was an announcement for a new partnership with Invasion Toys. No concrete details on that partnership at this time. It was just a simple image showing the Metazoo X Invasion Toys partnership. Typically, this will mean that when you buy something from Invasion Toys, either a certain amount or a special bundle they have, which is what the Channel Fireball promos do. And if you haven't seen those yet, Channel Fireball is actually offering bundles with their new promo card with Cumberland Dragon. I have ordered from Invasion Toys. I believe it's actually the first order I got for my CN2 booster box came from Invasion Toys. It was a really simple process, so I'm excited to see what Metazoo is doing with them, as I actually do consider them to be a trusted Metazoo seller. On the evening of March 4th, around 9 p.m., we got a look at the release event boxes for Wilderness. We can see a Wilderness card for Tokryosquit. I don't know if this is the promo that comes in the pack. I also am likely not saying that correctly. It looks like some kind of maybe ninja warrior with a bow staff. Interested to see more information on that one as that comes out. And we can see that one of the deck cards is Janet and Rosita Vandervoort. I can't really see what the special abilities of that card is there, but it looks to be a winter deck in this case. As we get into the updates for March 6th at just before 4 p.m., we got a look at the Yokai postcards that were announced a few weeks back. So we have cards for Kodama, Keiokigen, Narigama, Tatsu, Utsurabun, Gashadokoru, Gomiocho, Kamitachi, Raiju, Yukiona, and Oka. All of these postcards have a little blurb about the beasties that are featured on the card. And the one that we got the original preview for, the sketch preview for, was Narigama. And in this case, it actually is a metal pot on his head that keeps him warm from the cold. So really interesting to see these cards, get an initial preview of Yokai, which is pretty far out. I think it's about a year out for Yokai at this point, because next we have UFO in the summer, we have Seance in the fall, and then I believe the next set would then be right in the beginning of 2023. So we're a bit away from Yokai, and we're really getting these teasers out there. In this case, these are 11 postcards showing 11 of the beasties that are going to be in Yokai. And most of these I would consider to be gold card worthy. So I would imagine that these actually might be some of the big players, the big collectibles from the Yokai set when we see it next year. March 6th at just before 9 p.m. we got another look at the release event decks. It's mentioned that it's going to be a dragon heavy set. And in this, we can actually see some more of the promos from the release decks for the Lake Chelon Monster and the Ozark Howler, which are both dragon-type beasties. We already have seen a number of dragons for this set, Cumberland Dragon being probably the most prominent so far. And I'm really excited to see what else we have in store for this set. I've seen a number of the spoilers. I posted many of those in the last video. So far, it's actually shaping up probably to be one of my favorite all-around sets. You know, I definitely have some favorites from Cryptid Nation, I have some favorites from Nightfall, but most of what I've been seeing for Wilderness so far, I really enjoy, so I'm looking forward to seeing everything that this set has to offer. And lastly, on March 4th, there was another Metazoo Hour at around 1:30 p.m., and there were a number of things to pull from that. If you're interested in seeing the entire rundown, I would suggest you go to metazoohq.com. At this time, Jody has not put the most recent Metazoo Hour on there, but he does put them on there. So if you're interested to go back and see older Metazoo Hours, a couple days after ones go live on the Discord, he'll usually have that on his website, and you can read through that at your own leisure. So the big updates from the one on March 4th, the Dallas Collecticon will have plushies, and there will be 500 of those in total, so those will be in short supply. There will be a 2022 fan art competition. It's been confirmed, but no real details on that, so that's something to look forward to. The fan art competition from last year still hasn't technically been finalized. The blister packs have been teased, but they're not released yet, so we're still kind of coming off the heels of that one, so I imagine that might happen later in the year after the 2021 fan art packs go out. I had one of my questions answered. I asked when the April Fool's cards will be up for pre-order. This is something that's been teased a few times in the Metazoo Hours, and the response on that was April 2nd, so my response to Mike is, well played. I assume this is actually a joke, that there's not actually going to be any April Fool's cards. I believed you. There were a few questions around the Revive boards that we've been seeing. Those will be coming sooner than we think. No real date on those yet. It was said that Revive had recently announced a new lineup of boards, and the Metazoo ones were not part of that, so that was questioned, and Mike had said that they are special enough to get their own special release. So keep an eye out for that if that's something you're interested in. It sounds like that is coming soon. One of the other questions was whether or not Metazoo is going to start using tins, similar to how Pokemon does or some of the other ones. And the response to that is that UFO will have tins, so we'll see some of that. I assume that'll be part of the major retailer rollouts as that moves along. You know, the Walmart, the Target rollouts, we'll likely see those tins. Topps boxes have had issues with them being weighable, so it was asked if anything had been done with the Wilderness top set to address that, and the answer to that was yes. The Wilderness boxes do address the weighability of the boxes. They did not go into detail on what that really means, so we'll see what that looks like when those come out in the coming month. An interesting follow-up from what I talked about last week, we saw a Wilderness shirt with Bigfoot and a number of other Wilderness beasties on it. It was a green shirt. I'll post it up in the corner there. And what I found out during this Metazoo Hour is that this shirt was actually a special Dim Mak shirt, and only 100 of them were made special for the Orlando Collecticon. So likely not something I'm actually going to be getting my hands on, unfortunately, but I do love that shirt, and if you got one, congratulations. I am jealous. And the last thing I pulled from the Metazoo Hour is that the video game that's being worked on alongside the TV show is not the online TCG. This is planned to be an MMORPG, so this is going to be something a little different, more of a traditional game. It's something that I had wondered in my past videos if that was actually alluding to a new type of game versus the TCG, so I'm actually really excited to see what they're going to come up with for that. And it was announced that when they start rolling this out, there will be an alpha phase, and most likely followed by a beta phase, so on and so forth. We will likely get more information as that matures, and I assume that is going to be something that people are very interested in. That is all the updates I had for this week. As I mentioned, this is a short and sweet video compared to normal since we didn't have the Kickstarter to talk about. So thank you for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next one.